Oh, yeah. Man, it's a Wednesday evening, and we are glad to be here with you all. Another edition of Teague's Take. Thank you all for all of you who watched the show that we dropped on Monday evening because it took off when we started talking about the 4.2 4 point. Look at me talking math like JT now, but and these decimals and all this kind of crap. Hanging around him too much. 4.25. What happened? How are we looking? All those kind of things. So we of course we appreciate all the support that you give us tonight. So because of we've already discussed the South Carolina game with Alabama, we won't spend too much time on that. Maybe you can ask some questions and things about it, but we're really gonna kind of hone in a little bit more on the Tennessee game. It's coming up, the good old Rock Top, and what that's gonna look like this Saturday. All right, so um, we'll have a little bit of small talk. Maybe give you also some statistical data about this game coming up. Talk to you about the 4.2.4. There I go again. 4.25. And what's the problem with it? Is there really a problem? Take a straight double A ruling. I just saw it just popped up on TV. So we hadn't really talked about it at all, but I'm going to ask him about that. Um, and then get into some film. Okay. So with that, JT, let's go ahead and get this party started, man. Hit that intro button, baby. Let's go. All right. So for today's intro, I feel like I need to talk to you guys about this something. I didn't write up any script or anything. I just want to speak to you from the heart about this because it hit with our Dallas Cowboys and Jerry Jones. If you didn't hear any, he on some media guys the other day because uh, the Cowboys got trounced by the Detroit Lions. And it wasn't pretty. So he had some pretty hard questions. And for some reason, it seemed like he got out of character a little bit. That's the way I'm going to say it. I'm not defending him at all. Um, but he basically kind of went after the folks on 105.3 The Fan and said, basically they shouldn't have been treating him so harsh or so bad. Now, why would you do that when your team just got beat 47-9? You spend $100 million on two guys, 60 million to your quarterback, 40 million to a wide receiver. You don't score any touchdowns. The Detroit Lions actually, people keep saying they were trying to punk them. I don't think it was a try. They did punk them. They ran flea flickers. They ran multiple plays to the tackle, um, and all kind of things. And it was an ugly showing by the Dallas Cowboys. And trust me, I have to cover them as an analyst, so it makes it very, very hard. And I don't know, maybe I'm getting myself in trouble for talking about this today about it. But the point is, sometimes we get out of character when things happen to us and things get really, really tough. I think Jerry Jones had a lot of stuff built up. He's getting hit for many, many years about on how well of a GM has he been. Um, and then you go out and you have something like this, and your coaches are saying, the coach said, Mike McCarthy said, maybe our practices aren't going well. You got Dak Prescott, the quarterback, saying that as well. So everybody's looking for answers on how to do this. And how to win games. So what do you do in the time of adversity? Do you break? Do you just lash out when things aren't going your way? Or do you take a deep breath and really try to figure out what the problem is? So I think our Dallas Cowboys got to figure out what the problem is. They're on the bye week this week, and I think they'll figure it out. Same way our Alabama Crimson Tide will figure it out. All right, let me bring in my homie, my son, my friend, my co-host, Mr. James Teague is in the house. Yes, sir. Yeah. And it's kind of funny because that is the button that I hit every time that he gives a haircut. Oh, I go crazy. Yeah.
I got many more
I
buttons
just,
over here.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Maybe I hit that one too from time to time. But anyway, it's fun times. JT, I'm glad everyone is here. I'm glad that you are here. And, you know, this is not a Cowboys show, but because you got family ties to the Cowboys, did your wife even hear anything about
I
this?
don't
Because she's not really on
I
the
don't think
football
so.
side. Does
Yeah,
she even know what the heck's going on with?
nah, she hadn't said nothing to me about it. I don't think she knows.
Man, he blew a gasket, dog. I mean, he just totally went off. I don't. I'm sure as much as you're on Reddit and other pieces that you probably seen or heard about.
Well, believe it or not, since I've really almost purged myself of all social media, I did see it just because there was a article with a video attached to it on NFL.com because I was just looking at like recent transactions, like who was signed to the practice squad and who was released and things like that, and I just happened to see it and they were talking about it. So I didn't actually hear. I just heard people on the NFL Network talking about it, but which one of them was your boy Isaiah Stanback? He was
Oh, what did he say?
he
What
was
was this thing?
on that panel. Um, it kind of along the lines of where you were. I mean, he was definitely trying to be nice. Um,
Well, yeah, because he works for Jerry
yeah,
too. So
so I'll have to send it to you.
yeah, because he and I we're gonna be. Yeah, you did just hear crickets. Because Isaiah is doing extremely well. By the way, shout outs to him. He's been with the HouseCowboys.com and others, but now you can catch him on NFL Network as well. So it's kind of cool to watch guys grow and inspire and just see what he does. But you got to be careful, man. I always ask that when you're covering a team, how do you uh, be fair and honest when sometimes you got to speak negative about the person that's actually writing your check. It's kind of hard, but Jerry seems to be one of the fair ones who allows you to do that, and I think that's why it kind of shocked everyone when he had the reaction that he had. So, is he old and grumpy? Was it because he wanted more from his birthday?
I mean,
Who knows?
yeah, to get smacked at home on your birthday kind of sucks. But I mean,
Yeah,
that's why we didn't go to
kind of
the.
had the.
That's why we didn't go to the game. I mean, I knew it was coming.
Yeah, people asking me, "You going to the game?" I was like, "What for?"
Yeah, Emma asked if I wanted to go. She's like, "You want to use her tickets? You want to give them away?" I said, "No, you can go ahead and get those away."
Because that would have been real hard to watch. Um, but anyway, so just quick flashback when I spent a lot of time. How hard was it for you to watch some of the Alabama, South Carolina game? Um,
It was only hard because I was in a chat room on my phone, watching the game and seeing what people were saying. Um, so probably won't do that this week.
what just in case it goes bad? You mean
Either way, I mean
or?
it was to me it really wasn't even like off the rails yet, and like chat was already off the rails. I mean at that time it was 14-9, and like people were losing their minds. So
And it's crazy to me. I mean, we spent a lot of time talking about this in a lot of different areas. So if you have not watched the last one, what was the name of it? What did you title it? Cracks in the
I think it was a
yeah.
question. I think it was is Bama's defense schematically unsound?
Yes. So make
The
sure you
thumbnail
hit that
said
button.
cracks in the defense.
That's right. So you might want to check that out. It has got a ton of views and a lot of interaction from fans and viewers on there. Just in case you want to jump into that. I know both JT and I were replying to as many comments as we could. I think, but it was there was a lot of conversation, so it's definitely worth watching. So thank you guys for the support there. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, okay, and hit the bell for our channel because we're going to continue to do these type of things for you every single week. All right. So I want to talk to you just a little bit, JT, about this the defense, the scheme, just a little bit. Again, we covered it, but just in case someone didn't watch it, 4-5 and the problem. I was kind of a smart aleck a little bit on the show and saying, well, Tennessee happens to run multiple defense, but they base out of some 4-2-5, some 4-3, and some 3-4. Um, so here I gotta say about this, and everyone can check this and you can kind of figure it out because you really got to figure out where people base out of, because most people just don't run one defense. Correct,
Mm-hmm.
JT? It's not just one. You base out of something and then you have some change ups, right? And so initially, what I found in quick research, and I'm sure it's not 100% accurate, but it's probably close. But in the SEC, so I wanted to know what people ran in the SEC. There were 6 teams that ran a 4-2, 8 that ran a 3-4, one in a 2-4, and one in a 3-3. And I think that 4-2 might be a little bit higher than that, just depending on how many snaps that they actually run of it once you get into a game. Are you actually playing a 3-man front or a 4-man front? So what am I basically trying to tell you? It's two defenses, 4-2 and 3-4. Not 4-4, not 6-1, not 5-2. There any other combinations that we might uh have out there, right? We just need to. I like what you're saying, Dwight. We just need to win the doggone game and teach the stuff. Okay, so JT, you got any last words about this 4-2 stuff? Any advice, words, encouragement, something that you need to tell people just before we let it die and then move on?
No, because I'll get up on a soapbox. So
Well, it's your time to be on the soapbox if you want to be on it. People need to hear what you got to say. We got a couple minutes before we need to get to some film.
yeah, okay. Well, the numbers, essentially, where I come from on this is the numbers really don't matter, whether it's a 4-2-5 or a 4-4. Because as we showed, we had a video in the past. As we showed before, if you're going to be in a 4-2-5 and predominantly be playing cover 3 or cover 1, it's going to look like a 4-4 anyway. It's kind of a matter of personnel, and even then, like the way that you and Coach Ferris ran it with Charles Daniels out there, it's like, was he really a safety?
Right.
I,
4-3.
right. Was it a 4-3 that you just kind of rolled down and you played single high? Um, I mean, the amount of times I think it's also kind of like we get into a 3 down so much anyway. We're getting in some kind of 30 front a lot.
You're talking
So
about Bama.
yeah,
Yeah. So you're playing 3-4 or
right.
three
Or a
three.
3-3. And I think I'll have to go back and like really pay attention because when we did it the other night, I didn't. I think we were actually in a 3-4 a lot last week, and not necessarily just the 4-2. But I mean, there's I'm kind of going all over the place because there's different things about we're not pressuring enough, which I believe that to be true. Um, I said that a long time ago with when we were going into the Georgia game. They were only bringing some kind of pressure on 3% of dropbacks, which was last in the FBS, which I was like, that's got to be intentional, right? That's like getting a 3% on your test. It's like, dude, if you just put your name on it, you're gonna get more than that.
So I'm writing a question down there.
That's
Okay.
statistically unlikely that you'd be at 3%. So that must be rather intentional. They're higher now. I can't remember what the number is, but it's still not very high. So I do think they need to bring more pressure. However, and people may disagree with me on this, and that's fine. Is what do you do with your young secondary? Because if you bring pressure, theoretically, yes, the ball's getting out quick. But if you're bringing pressure and you're also not getting home, and the ball's not getting out quick, now you've got 3 freshmen in a secondary and time with no help,
Exposed.
right? So and then if you're not covering deep balls well and it's just pat and go on the 9 and you're not playing one-on-one very well, then it's kind of a wash. So where I came down on it, especially after having Coach Smith, Coach Stretch on the show with Vanderbilt, is I still truly don't believe that it's play calling. I believe it's execution. And as you said, the fundamentals, when you've got, and I might have said it off air or in a text message, you can be in a, sure, you don't want the safeties on the field. You want to put 4 linebackers out there. But your top 2 linebackers that are always in the game, one of them is consistently getting run over because he's standing too high and he keeps taking shoulders to the chest and giving up 4 yards after contact, even though he's making the tackle. And the other one missed, like, what was the number that you gave me? I mean, his tackling grade was in the 20s. But I don't remember how many tackles he actually missed. And we were talking about like what constitutes a missed tackle and all that kind of stuff. But if those are your 2 best linebackers, to me, it's kind of like, hey, adding your 2 backups on the field is not. I mean, I don't think it matters.
Yeah. So I
Right. So
had
here's the
total
comment:
for the
Coach can't
team
help you
over.
tackle a guy directly in front of you. Right. And it's like, look, Womack can't play the game for you. If you're giving up a touchdown because one of your corners is just staring in the backfield and has no idea where the receiver is, it doesn't matter what coverage you run. That can't happen in any coverage.
So the first 6 games. This is according to PFF, and JT had some discussion on how you define missed tackles and all that kind of stuff. PFF says we've had 30 missed tackles over 6 games. It's not much, the way that we probably look at it. We're going, man, I know we missed more than 30
Yeah.
tackles.
But I mean,
Right?
even then, still 5 a game.
But I think what's more alarming outside of that is the grades that we had as a defense. This is where I think I get worried is week 1 we had a 90 as a defense overall. Week 2, 74. Week 3, 78. 4, 74. Week 5, 67. Week 6, 66. So it's getting worse. That's where I think we start to get, um, a little bit worried from that standpoint. And by the way, I didn't say this a little earlier. I'm sorry. Those of you that are on the Bama Standard channel, we do appreciate you guys for tuning in, and ladies for being a part of it. We always love to be able to collaborate, share, and multi-stream to both platforms. I know there was another show on the Bama Standards today. There's so much content about Alabama. So we're thankful that you're able to be here with us on Teague's Take, but also that you are members or family of the Bama Standard, because we consider ourselves family with them as well. So make sure you subscribe to both channels and find us. When you're looking for exclusive content on either one of the channels. All right. So okay, man. So Well, I don't want to spend. I think I got just a
Yeah, we
couple more
need to.
minutes
Oh yeah, go
before we
ahead.
go to. We need to take this because we're going to need to take a break because we need to go ahead and pay some bills before we go into this piece. I think.
You want to take a break before we get
Um,
into the statistical stuff?
no,
Oh,
I don't. I think you're right on that. Don't we talk about some of that stuff? Stats. Wasn't that your favorite class
in high school it was.
in high school? It wasn't not in college. You too. You didn't like the statistical stuff when you got.
Well, I don't know. It's one of those things where I feel like I liked it because I was good at it. Um, but it was also cool that my professor, my bad, in college was the head statistician for the Cincinnati Bengals at the time. Um, so that was pretty cool. I was pretty good at it. So
Yeah.
yeah, I liked it. It
So
wasn't
good
real
at it. We
mad
thought you
either.
we thought you were going to be an actuary.
Yeah, but then I had to take accounting,
That's a,
and I was like,
that's a different kind of math.
yeah, I was like, the hell with this. This is stupid. And none of it makes
That's-
sense.
I don't know that your wife would appreciate that you're
Well, she knows.
saying what she does.
I called her to help me, and she was like, "What is this that you're doing?" And I was like, well, "Look, all right, well, if the accounting major doesn't know what's going on in this class right now,
Okay. All right. Precursor to Tennessee then. Data and what we're going on. So what I saw, and I'll let you dive into a little bit more because I was like, man, this is a really, really run heavy team. And then you're like, no, I think they're kind of being 50-50. So talk to us about how maybe things can kind of get skewed and what it looks like. All coaches are looking at their
Mhm.
sheet and saying, third down, we got this amount of
yeah,
runs, this amount of passes. And they're trying to balance out things. But then you got to try to figure out as a coordinator, you know, okay, who are they really? It says 50-50, but
okay." So this is. I'm looking at this sheet. Like this is one of the things that I print off for our games every week, just trying to figure out. It's like, okay, yeah, overall you're close to 50-50, and then you're trying to figure out the tell. And to me, this is what I always look at. I learned slash stole this from the Houston Texans defensive staff. Is really kind of drill down like what on second and seven plus, what is the team trying to do? Because if they're committed to the run, they still think that that's kind of that's the okay. We didn't it whatever we ran didn't work on first down, so now it's second and long. I'm trying to pull out my best play. Like what can I do to get back on track? So second and seven is what I look at. Second and seven plus is what I look at to say, what are you really trying to do? Because if you actually think that you're a team that's going to run the ball, you're probably still going to try to run on second and seven to get back to third and short. If you're a team that's much more pass heavy, you think that your best chance to get back to third and short is probably going to be a pass. Tennessee had 12 such second and seven plus. They were 6-6, 6 passes, 6 runs. And I was like, oh, all right. Well, I guess we really are kind of in the spirit of being balanced. Now, everything else kind of lines up to what you think. First and short, like if it's first and 1 to 3, it's a run.
right.
First and long, that's 7-10. It's about a 60-40 split, which we've talked about before, is about as balanced as teams usually are anyway. 61 pass, 39 run. First and long, if they're behind the chains, it's a pass. And you can kind of just guess the rest. The closer they are, the more likely are the run. The farther they are, the more likely they are to pass. Even on third and long, well, they didn't have very many third and longs. They only had 3, but those third and longs was kind of the only out. Third and 11 plus was on the kind of outlier there, which was 2 runs, 1 pass. But we talked about this pre-show on maybe why that's the case. Why maybe on third
Right.
and
What part of the game that is and everything else.
well, yeah. But also when we were saying, look, we had 34 clips of them throwing the ball, or at least tagged of them throwing the ball. Thanks, Tide in Texas, for helping me run these numbers. I took out 2 of them because 2 of them were penalties. So that left us with 32 passes thrown or attempted. Shouldn't say thrown. Attempted for Tennessee. They were efficient on 9 of them, which means 28% efficient on any given pass. That's awful. So of 32 passes, 3 of them were sacks and 1 was an interception. So that leaves you with like 28 actual attempts. 12 of those 32 attempts went for 0 yards or less. 12.
So, do you think that the committee, the College Board, actually dives into stuff like this? Because you're looking at rankings, and I'm, I'm not saying that because they've only lost 1 game like us. But when you start breaking this down, when I'm looking at it as a coach and as a fan, I'm going like, man, we're better than these guys, or we should be able to force them to throw the ball because they aren't that efficient, as you said. So what?
Do I need to
How are we
define
supposed to look at this?
what efficient means?
Sure.
Efficient on first down means getting 4 yards or more. So you're trying to get to 2nd and 6 or better. Efficient on second down means you're getting half of the yards that you need on second down. So if you're at 2nd and 6, you're trying to get to 3rd and 3. And then being efficient on third down is getting a first down. That's it. You can't not get a first down and call that an efficient third down. And then same with 4th down if you're going to go for it, which they did have 2 4th down plays, both runs, by the way, 4th and short. But duh, we knew that. So, yeah, I mean, if you're going to be throwing 60% of the time on first down and assume that now we only have numbers from 1 game, right? So they may be better than that overall, but at least last week, if you're only going to be 28% efficient on first down.
Well, no, I can tell you this without going into each down, but when they play UT Chattanooga, they were 33 or 44. That's pretty good overall completions. But
Yeah,
NC State 16 to 23, Kent State 16 to 25, Oklahoma 13 to 21, Arkansas 16 to 28. This is every down, right? Florida 16 to 21.
Yeah, but see, that's what I'm saying. Like
great.
Completion percentage, and this is the same thing I was talking to the offense coordinator that I work with. Completion percentage means absolutely nothing to me because, like you just said, 16 of 21 and 12 of those are for 0 yards. Like, who cares?
Right. Right. And I think that's what we have. There's not a lot of explosive plays by them. I think they want to grind it out. I think they're a running football team, me personally. And we'll show you some of that on the film here because I think they're old school power. They may be calling it a veer, but 3 backs in the backfield, couple backs in the backfield, and got to run the ball at you. If you get me in the box, then we're going to throw it. Tell you to back off a little bit and try to keep you worried about it.
Well, the last thing I want to ask you is this, because we also do have a formation report. Mm-hmm. And what I saw was, let me do quick math, 11 plus 22. 33% of the time, they're just in doubles, like 2 by 2, back on either side. And then like you can find another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like they're not getting into they're really not getting into like a ton of formations here.
No, they're basic. They're they're kind of, hey, this is who we are. What we're gonna do? Stop it. I mean, it, I feel that way. There's not a lot of trickery. Uh, there wasn't all the weird and unusual shifts that you get from Alabama, and then add the motion and all that kind of stuff. You don't really get that. It's kind of the it's old school
Yeah, I
football
think they
to me.
ran motion on 11%, like 9 plays. They had some kind of motion, which,
It's,
man, maybe I'm reading this wrong, but the average yards on that motion was -11. So I think they might have only run it one time. So
it's not.
it's kind of like, it sounds like to me that this is one of those games where you can actually kind of sit in your base defense and just tell your players, hey, look, you kind of just, like, it's on you this week defensively.
Yes,
Like it's time to nut up and get better, make tackles, be disciplined, because they're not gonna really try to trick you all that much. They're really just gonna try to line up and say, we're better than you are. May the best football player win.
and I 100% agree with that. And that is a statement that I've made to many people is that we're gonna have to bring the big boy pads this week. They're gonna line it up. They're gonna try to do some smash mouth. Yeah, they're gonna throw the ball and stuff. And I know we're talking about their quarterback. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce his last name. I just call him Nico. And you know, I think you got to challenge him to throw the ball. Can he throw it? Sure, he can. Do they have some speed at wide receivers? Absolutely, they do. You have to worry about that with your young secondary. Absolutely, but I think you guys heard JT said for a couple weeks. What do you want to take away? I feel like you need to stop them
Mm-hmm.
from running the doggone football,
Well, yeah, I mean, as
right?
Coach Ferris used to say, if they can run all over you, they don't, teams don't even, they're not going to pass unless they have to. And I think that's especially true with Tennessee, because they're apparently not very good at it right now.
Yep. Well, I feel like we need to take a pass and hand this off to a couple sponsors for a little while, and maybe take 90 seconds to kind of say thank you to a couple people who make this show
Yeah,
happen.
Jeff, it's crazy loud at Neyland, and I got a
Oh,
clip that will show you just how loud it is. Um, let's take that break.
everybody, George Teague here, formerly of the Alabama Crimson Tide and the Dallas Cowboys. So let me ask you a question. Are you an athlete or a coach looking to boost your online visibility? Well, you've got to check out On3. Their personalized web pages amplify the total you on and off the field. Whether you want to grow your visibility, build your brand, or simply show the world who you truly are, On3 is here for you. They showcase the complete person, celebrating your passions, perseverance, and the pursuit of excellence beyond sports. These web pages are the ultimate digital hub to elevate your brand and highlight your journey. So head on over to www.on3.io/microsites and get started with On3 today.
All right, and our last one, Titan, Texas. So the mission of Titan, Texas, the North Texas chapter of the University of Alabama National Alumni Association, is to raise for our 9 endowed scholarships and promote the university of Alabama and North Texas. They accomplished the mission through various social, philanthropic, educational, and networking events throughout the year. One of those events actually just passed on October 11th. That was in Wiley. That was a golf tournament. So make sure that you are looking for sponsorship opportunities by visiting their Facebook page at Titan Texas or their website, www.titantexas.com. Thanks to Titan Texas for sponsoring us to allow us to do these breakdowns and help us with these stats right here that I have in my hand.
Yeah. And it was a great event. I did go out to the game and to the golf tournament. It's kind of good, man. I got some good breakfast burritos and got to see Mike Kim from Black Fire, who was a sponsor. He was there, of course, supporting it, and it was a great time to raise some money for multiple scholarships that day. So appreciate everybody that was there um, as well. Okay, so here we go. We want to get into a little bit of film, and at some point during this film, JT, I do want to take a break because I want to ask you about this NCAA rule. Okay,
Okay.
it'll be later, maybe right before we go to the defense. That can be a little break. All right, so and I don't know what order these are in and all this kind of stuff. I think there's probably more run than passes in here, but JT was talking about one of the things. There's not a whole lot of motion. They kind of get lined
Yeah,
up
I mean, this is like their
evenly.
base formation right here. This is like this is what they do for the most part.
Yes, and I
Space,
don't know.
ton of space though. Like they're going to try to like look how far this slot receiver is away from the quarterback. Like they're trying to get guys out of the box this way.
To do what? If you guys have been paying attention, how many people are in these box? Coach Smith and JT did a really good job of talking about numbers and how you match up. So I don't know what the play is.
Yes,
We
Lance.
got a
Yes, it was.
we got a cheat sheet for you up there. Just in case when I'm asking you the question, you can kind of see down distance. Yes, they do throw it because it says pass right up there. I can see it, and they gained 14 yards. So anyway, compliments of Titan Texas. All right, so let's see what happened. I think that the main thing is here is you want to get this guy on the move, and that's a nice little half roll. Maybe you call it a full roll,
Yeah, but it's just
but
flood.
throwing the ball out here on the sideline is things that you have to be used to. You can't be too far away from guys when you're in coverage. I don't know what coverage you call this. I mean, there's a lot of separation between the guy over the slot and the.
This looks like it looks like quarters to me. Um, kind of looks like
Just,
stress, and the safety is just
just
not. There's not a good break here.
well, and I would like to see the guy that's on the flat guy, the run or the guy that's going behind the line of scrimmage. I don't know that he should jump up on him that fast. When we're talking about deep to short, it's 1st and 10. He grabs him at -1. What is this? Where he's
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and this is
passes.
the eternal battle that I have with our guys playing this position is like establishing like that no cover zone. I mean, look, let the ball bring you down to anything less than 5. But from here, like you see pass, there's nobody back here. Running back's already gone. Like let's gain a little bit of depth here. Make him throw this one and then go tackle him.
And he's sprinting to you. That's another
Mm-hmm.
one that we have to talk about. The guys typically someone's going out behind you, probably. Um, so good throw by. Okay, are we gonna attempt to say his name, or are we just gonna say
I don't even remember.
Nico?
It's no, I because I don't remember.
It's
I think it's
like
at an attempt of butchering it because I didn't practice or look at it because I just called him Nico as well. I think it's Yamaleva. Doesn't matter. That's not right. Um, we'll get it.
that's
We'll get
funny.
it better for Monday when we do the recap.
Yeah. And by the way, when he was talking about how loud Nealon is, I could fully remember how loud it is in there. It is an obnoxiously loud place to play. So our guys are going to have to be ready. They got to communicate. They got to
Yeah, I
give
think
hand
there was a
signals.
question here about communication.
So it is definitely a place that I remember. And they were one of the largest stadiums back when I was playing. A lot of people have called them, but the structure of the stadium is so
I heard it's a small stadium.
it's so straight up. It's not deep and wide like bowls like this way. It's kind of more
Hey, James Knox
up.
asked a good question. Doesn't Bama's defensive fourth down percentage keep Tennessee's third down playbook wide open? Um, Gut reaction, yes. Yes, it does. Because
Fourth down
that
percentage is
percentage is
terrible.
terrible. So yeah, I mean, I don't know that'd be true for sure, but I definitely like that makes sense to me. I was trying to find the communication thing, but oh well.
All right. Well, anyway, we want to show you this guy's arm, let you know that he can throw it, even though we don't think that that's what he necessarily wants to do. Our safeties, JT, I think are going to be in a bind because of really how much run that we're actually going to get, which we'll see how they do that
Mm-hmm.
here in a minute. That play action becomes a problem. Um, you start itching and you get stiffing around that line of scrimmage, and all of a sudden there's a guy running past you down the seam. Okay. Uh, Easy run and play. I think we chose this one just because pullers. So I think you got to look at what I saw, JT, is that their center, number 63. Like I said, I left my sheets at doggone school today. Um, he's okay. Um, he's known to flop around a little bit, and then their left tackle, 53. I think he's their weakest link all the way around. Now, yeah, he shows some good stuff, but I think overall he gets manhandled. I think he misses, and we'll show some other clips here. Where'd that guy come from?
He came from the backside.
Yeah, so when you're running this counter,
He
if you
just
don't
followed the
have,
guard.
but this also talks about. Now I know there's a safety out there to the right.
Yeah, but if you pull this,
Yeah, he's gonna be one on one with the guy, but it just shows that what you and Coach Stretch were talking about is really is that what they want to do with Nico?
mm-hmm.
I don't think so. Will they do it against us? Who knows? We're probably gonna get shovel
Well,
quarterback
I
run.
did see one true read option, and guess what happened? They put it on the ground. They fumbled it immediately.
Yeah. So I don't know. Statistically, when you get them again, they were. When you look at the sheet, it says Tennessee scores 42 points a game. Now, the first three games, they scored 42, 70 something, 60 something, but they didn't score that much against uh, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Florida. It was a little bit more. They were only in the 20s. So, again, it's skewed on it. All right. Check out these formations. JT was talking
Well,
about it, getting
I got a
guys
question
online.
up here. What has surprised me the most is the lack of eye discipline from our defense, especially from veterans. Should this still be an issue at this point in the season? I'm gonna take this one because
Yeah. But anyway, go ahead.
this is like this hit all the buzzwords for me. Eye discipline issues at this point of the season is like as a defensive coordinator, this is like the one thing that I still struggle to get our guys to do. Now, granted, I'm coaching high school kids and this, that, and the other thing, but like the difficulty to fix a player's eyes is super high. Yes, it is an issue, Should it still be an issue? No. But it's kind of, I just can't really stress enough at how hard it is to actually fix that habit. That is, I still haven't figured out how to do it. And
Let me be a smart ass for a minute. Justin, since I know this is you. If you're on the beach and there's this
oh
little
Lord, I already know where
this
this is
little
going.
eye candy walk past you and you try to figure out what you do with your eyes, and someone tell you, don't do it, man. Don't do it, man. You try to put some shades on, you try to, bro, come on, man. You're going to look at things you're supposed to look at, right? No matter who tells you not to do it.
Yeah.
So,
Case in point, Florida's
yeah.
doing it too. We just talked about this dude right here. Like, he knows he ain't supposed to be up here right now.
Nope.
He's supposed to be
Yeah.
taking his drop back here to the sticks, and he's not, because some chick just ran across his face.
Yep. She got on
And
a
it's
singlet.
just so hard to do. And the reason, like, I can speak to it being so hard to do is because this is year 3 for me in my system, and we still have problems with it.
Yep.
Like, I
Keep short. Keep
cannot
short.
get the corners to stop jumping hitches. I
And they're
can't
still
get the
doing it in the
stars
pros.
to.
They still do it in the pros. Get back. Get back. Leave that candy alone. Don't take the cheese. All these things. I don't know what all kind of buzzwords you got. Like you said, don't worry about the little. I don't want to be derogatory towards women and all that stuff, but it's just leave the candy alone, man. Back up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
you
just,
always gonna.
my goodness.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's frustrating because it's like, how many
yeah,
times I got to tell you not to do it? You keep doing it. So,
that's right. You can't hide behind
uh,
your shades. No, you got your shades on. You still looking. Try to keep your neck straight. Whatever, man. Anyway, all right. Check this out. I like this running play, man. So, so they call this a sniffer. I would call it a sniffer too, because you kind of got this guy up in between the big gap. I
mhm.
don't know if you guys know what a sniffer back is, but it's we kind of made jokes about it. Hey, they're up to sniff track, you know, up there a little bit. But you got that, so you kind of got 3 blockers. It's a power with. Did they pull 2 guys?
Yes,
Which
they
happens to
pulled
be
the
the
center
center.
and the guard.
Which you don't necessarily see when you have a 0. That's why this is interesting to me that he's lined up right over the center and he still pulls. Now this is what I'm talking about. 63 kind of missing and flopping around. He pulls around, but he doesn't finish. You know, so the play's not that successful. But again, if you're gonna run the ball 40 times, throw the ball 40 times, you're gonna have some misses. Okay.
Good old twin
Uh,
stack with a sniffer.
yeah.
So it's like, look, so this is 3rd and 6. So you're gonna see that medium card being shown on the sideline. It's gonna be yellow. It's gonna have the words medium in all caps. But you also know almost immediately that this is a pass. Like right now.
What's the tell? I know what it is, but what's your tell?
The
Yes.
back is standing in front of the quarterback. So if there's going to be a run, it's going to be like you got to look out for shovel pass or something in here, if you want to call that a run. But if it's going to be a true run, the quarterback's going to have to.
Why not just line the guy up and empty and just get him out of there? It's empty. Why not just line him up and empty? Or
Because he's pass
I
blocking.
guess it's going to be a block, but I don't know. I'd rather put him on the inline. I don't know. But anyway, I don't care. The same thing.
Well, my guess would
with
be
them.
they didn't want to move him out because they wanted the pass pro. And my other thought is they probably didn't want to bring in a tight end because they wanted to keep the personnel that was out there. I learned that from Coach Stretch.
Yeah, that's true. It just
No subs.
I know we're watching Tennessee and not Florida. It just they have so many holes in their zones.
Yeah, so does Tennessee, which we'll get to.
So I mean, for us, you got to have tight coverage, but I mean, you got guys running through zones like that. That's an easy pickup for him, and you appraise the quarterback. But I like how he looked left and comes back and finds his third choice. That dude was open from the beginning. So yes, sir. I like that. Appreciate you talking about hitting that like button. So these guys got some speed. This running back. Let me get you his name. Sorry if I can get to my right page. Shoot. Again, I didn't have
Yeah, so
uh,
I think PFF
Dylan
might call
Sampson.
this a missed tackle.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, so Dylan Sampson. You got to worry about him. Number 6. Let's give him a little bit of praise. This guy's good, man. So he had 27 carries against Florida. 27. So you're talking about bell cow. He has about 700 yards rushing for the year. He had 112 um, against Florida with 3 touchdowns, 4 yard average. So bring your big boy pads because they're going to hand this guy the ball. I mean, if he had 27 carries. All right, what was
I was saying
tendency?
PFF might call this a missed tackle right here.
Oh, okay. Yes. Might be multiples. Who knows?
You can't let him get to the edge like that. This is if we're gonna come down to help,
So
we need to come down and help
So this is the same thing. This is minor. Okay, JT, go back a little bit, and you can see 53 the tackle pull it around. Um,
and touch nobody.
it's
Literally touch
yeah,
nobody.
it's now it's an effective play. I guess you get out of it, but it's these kind of things where I'm just going, even like that for PFF. Is that a missed block? What? How do you grade this out for a running play? You know, um, we've always been told if you're spinning around looking to try to see what happened, then you miss. Um, so um, I think one of the things they do too. I don't know if we actually got the clip on here. Is they do a little bit of chop blocking. I hope that when they have their pre coaches meeting, that someone's saying, hey, you know, especially in short yardage when they get in their condensed formation that you're going to see in a little bit, they chop block. Um, okay, more wide formations. Just another counter.
More missed tackles. Good move though. I mean, it was a good jump cut. Yeah, man, it got
So
it.
look at the set, and this is what I'm saying. This both of the running backs are. I mean,
That's a tight end. He's 87.
oh yeah. So Brook Hill used to run this stuff. I mean, it's essentially the same play. You're pulling 2 guys to the
Yeah,
left.
he's just got a head start, I guess.
Yeah. So there's a big pressure though. Center I was talking about. He's still kind of getting whooped a little bit. Um, okay, it's a different play.
Yeah, this is the read that I was talking about that they immediately
Oh
like put
yeah,
on the ground.
yeah, it's awful. I'm not laughing, but he would have got some yards too.
You
Maybe
think? Like I don't even. I think this is a. I think this is you got to give this, but I don't know. I mean, maybe he's.
he got to hand it off. Yes, but I don't know. It's kind of is what it is. Tennessee, I think we're better. That's the same play we just saw, right? So I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, you get a lot of formation, not even a lot. They're they're running the same plays. They just try to give you a lot of different ways for you to dissect it. So it's not all that great. I think we're going to get some of this quarterback trying to run. I feel like we could defend this if we're worth our salt. I don't think their defense is or their offense is complicated. I think it's just we got to be sound, and you gotta
Yep, and
go
then you
get
got to
people.
hold whoop, right there.
Oh yeah,
Flag comes
you know,
out. There it is.
it just I think it. I don't think they score that much. I'm hoping they don't score that much. Maybe that's about two pullers again.
Yeah, because I mean, even just like looking at these clips, like if an offense was doing this, if this is what I was seeing from an offense that we were gonna play on a Friday, when I get into that coordinators meeting and I got to tell the coordinator like what the game plan is, to kind of be like, hey, the game plan is we're gonna play a lot of just our base defense because this is they're gonna have six and we're gonna have six and they're gonna pull some people and we need to read our keys and just do our job.
Yeah, so it will be interesting to see. I mean, look how fast he ran past 53. I don't know if they even like this offensive scheme because I don't know that 53 can actually block him. I mean, it's a no gainer, but the guy's in a 4-eye. The guard pulls to the right. If you guys know what I'm seeing here, the left guard jump pulls. That guy slants inside of 53. I expect to get him. And I'm assuming the backers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's a safety coming down for the quarterback. Late, but that should have been a give if you're actually reading it too. Anyway, I don't know, man. I feel kind of confident about this one. I think it could be an evenly matched game. It's going to be hard on the road. Um, I think our defense can. I think we need to do more of this. I do think we need to have more people in the box. Um,
Oh,
something like this.
you know what? I messed up. That's okay though.
You just you just running the
Yeah, we were just
whole
watching the game.
game.
We were not watching the clips.
Yeah,
We were just
it
watching the
was.
game.
Yeah, I was like, oh, he ain't got some power out yet.
Let me see if I can find it real
Um,
quick then, because I was like, man, how many plays did we get? This one right here.
yeah, that's it right there. Yep. I am not a betting man, but I am willing to bet that we will see this formation multiple times before this game's over with. And I'm willing to bet we see this play probably three times. The exact same play. One to one side, one to the other, and let them see. Everybody gets in the box, but we're just going to play smash mouth football. It's now you can look. So look at the center again, 53. I'm sorry, 63. He just heads down,
Oh,
his
geez.
leg movement. That's tripping. I mean,
Hey, well,
again,
if
that's
anybody thought that this was that we were a highly buttoned up professional show, um, considering that we picked 9 clips and then didn't even watch them. So what you guys really got was 2 coaches actually just watching film and going through it because those were none of the plays that we picked.
nope. Did you accidentally run up on this one just because it fell in line?
Yeah,
Clip
yeah,
14? Yeah,
14.
probably so. Third and one, short yardage. This is what you're going to get. I think you get it fourth down. You're going to get it any short yardage kind of stuff. I'm calling them two backs, but that's a tight end, and I don't know what zero is.
Well, let's jump to this play real quick because we need to get to the 6 plays on defense too. But this is one of the offensive ones that I put on here. This one, spoiler up at the top right, is an interception. Um, he has all the time in the world here, and I'm not entirely sure what he saw. Well, I guess I know what he saw. He didn't see that dude, that's for sure. So he didn't see this dude just kind of drop out and hang out under here. Um, he had time to throw, and he threw it right at him. So I mean, mistakes will be made.
It's gonna be a battle. It's gonna be a battle, brother. I think we can pull it out. I think it's still closer. I think people are still nervous, but it's a conference game away.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't. I'm not saying we're gonna blow these. Everybody think they're looking for it. We're gonna beat them by 50. I don't. I don't know. It's a good point. Understand it. Okay, let's get to some
Did you
defense.
want to do your
Oh
12 man
yeah.
that I
So
don't
let me
know
ask you
that I
this.
have no idea what you're referring to?
Okay, so did you? I don't know if you watched the Ohio State Oregon game. If
No,
you
I
caught
wanted
any
to,
of it,
but you know,
but this is where it kind of came from. So Ohio State's making a draft. So late in the game, right? And teams are going in a hurry up, right? And they're trying to get down there. So the Oregon Oregon team gets called for 12 men on the field.
okay.
Now
They're on offense or defense. Okay,
they're on
they're on
defense.
defense. Okay.
So the point because and Ohio State doesn't convert. They get a 5 yard penalty, but time ran off.
Oh, you're supposed to get
So
an extra play.
is that um, Oregon did this on purpose because you see the guy step onto the field late off their bench. They get in. Now they got 12, so they get called for 12 men on the field. Okay, that's the stage. So now the rule is stating that, and I just saw it not too long ago, that basically the 12-man penalty can be that the offense, this on if it's called on defense, can take the 5 yard penalty and get their time back.
Yeah, that's what I would
I
have
don't know
expected.
how you feel. How can you? Well, that's a pretty drastic change in the middle of the season.
Oh,
Or do you
they
care about
changed
that?
it. That wasn't the rule, is what you're telling me? I thought that
It
was the
was
rule.
not the real. No, that you don't. You get the penalty, but you don't get your time.
Well, see, I always thought that the game could not end on a defensive penalty.
2 minute drive. Don't think of it as the last play. Just think of, hey, you got a minute
Oh, okay.
30 something seconds left. You're way down on the 20. And coach just, hey, get out there. Don't let them catch the ball. We're going to put 12, 13, 14 guys out here, make them go incomplete. We're going to give them 5 yards, but we're not going to give them 40.
Okay. Okay. So you had me in the first half, not gonna lie. That meme. Um I at first I would have said no, you don't get your time back. That's ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, if the loophole is, I'm just gonna send the whole bench out there and, and we're gonna put 55 dudes back there and you're not catching the ball, 5 yard penalty, game's over. Like, I don't know, man. That's tough.
But how do you know when it's deliberate and when it's not? Like, you know,
Hey, I would say,
hey, you run it's a late substitution and everybody looking around.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Hey,
I would say yes, as Trainwreck said, you can't change it mid-season. Agree. Um, but I would say that you cannot give the time back unless that's the last play of the game. I would still say you cannot end the game on a defensive penalty. Actually, I would say you cannot end the game on an accepted penalty. Period. Well,
yeah,
no,
just
that's not true because you have intentional
what if you do
grounding.
this what if you do this multiple times though?
Well,
Because
then you would be giving up a first down,
it's a loop.
typically.
I'm saying from uh, again, I'm trying to take the last play
You're
out
just
of it.
saying I do it.
There's 15 seconds left. You're at the negative 30. You're trying to
Mhm.
maybe get, I don't know.
Ooh, that's tough. I
a
mean, I
little
get what you're saying
closer,
because
and you
then you're
just
just
say,
saying
"Hey,
you
man,
just
just
do
go on
it
the field." And they actually had trips to the Oregon side.
right. Because now you're just saying they're on the negative 30. They got 70 yards to go. I'm just going to keep putting 12 guys out there and just keep taking
You
time
get
off and
5.
just giving up 5 yards.
Yes.
Rough. Hey, yeah, I don't get paid. I'm not on the competition committee. That's a tough one.
No, and I don't think they actually were pretty seen it. And I don't know who actually figured out that maybe they might have
Hey,
did
maybe
this on
you say
purpose, but
just multiple illegal substitutions like that becomes a unsportsmanlike, and then you tack on 15.
get 15. I like that
Call it a
idea.
delay game or whatever, and
And that's probably in that. But anyway, I just happened to see that show up on TV today. And I was like, oh, I know what that is. And I thought it was interesting. I think it's fair. Do you do it now? When do you change it? All this kind of stuff. I think
you gotta
NCAA
change at the end of the
probably,
season. So what? You got
probably.
your rules abused. That's a you problem.
Well, but you know how we're halfway through the season. You can't imagine seeing this in the playoffs that George is making a drive. Think about if we did this at the one of our games, and and just with the way it's been coming down on the last drive of the game, and Deboer just runs a kid out there like, hey, just don't let him catch the ball. Double team this dude. They're going to throw it at our corner, double team him, and we'll take the 5 yard
Yes.
penalty, run off 6, 7 seconds, and line up again.
So D says it's a minor change to do mid-season, in my opinion. Trainwreck says don't be behind. It's that simple. Yeah, just don't lose. I mean, I guess that's the. I think there's merit to both of those. Um, I don't know what you do, but that's why I'm sitting here with you and not.
No, me either. But until it happens in one of your games.
I've already seen worse things than that.
All right, let's get to this defensive field, brother. That was my one random
All right,
thought for you.
6 clips. They are.
They got some hustles up front.
Yeah. So what was I looking at here? Oh, kind of just like, you know, uh, taking your checkdowns. I mean, they're gonna. I think so. The point I was trying to make with these 6 clips is they run as I was going through the game, just straight top to bottom. They run a lot of man coverage, a lot of cover one, and they run. And I don't have the breakdown. I didn't tag it all to see when was man and when was zone, but their zone coverage leaves a lot to be desired, in my opinion. Through at least the first, I at least made it through 30 clips. So, um, their zone coverage is not very good. Yes, they did lose the linebacker towards ACL. There's also the guy that wears the headset, so they did lose a big leader on their defense. Number 11.
Yeah, this is. No, they fly around, and again, it's going to be loud and it's going to be aggressive. It's really going to be on Milroe and the gang to be able to
I just feel like with a
really
lot of this,
communicate.
like this is. I was watching this and I was like, yeah, Florida's giving you the blueprint. Like this is what you got to do. Like if their zone doesn't seem very good, so they play a lot of man, and you got burners at receiver. Like these are the things you got to do. Just run them across the field. I didn't think 3. From what I watched, this guy down here, this quarter down here, number 3. I didn't see what his PFF grade was, but I was looking at him and I was like, he doesn't scare me all that much. They're kind of just running away from him. Now he overthrows this one, but you put that where it's supposed to be. And I'm kind of going through it fast. I mean, we're We're over an hour already, but
Well, that's because we watched the whole first half of the other game.
yeah. Play action was a big deal here. You can see like where they're trying to go, and again, they're in zone coverage out of this, so literally everybody's open. Like
But first,
even number 3, who's supposed to be in the deep third here, gets his hips turned around. Like everybody's open.
but you know what I see, JT, and that's why I love the board. And I know these guys are kind of flowing a little bit. I could just see this quarterback run helping out
Mm-hmm.
of this. That it's the exact same play we keep seeing every single week. Now they got 2 guys out there, but we could run this same play. It's actually what we run essentially with the guy coming behind the line of scrimmage. Just normally he goes and blocks for Milroe, but this guy's going out
Right.
for a pass.
If he just kind of seals right here. And,
Yeah, we're off to the races. I mean, I don't know. Not an offensive coordinator, but it just seems like we got some opportunities, as you said. You know, how do we set this up so that we can?
yeah. So they go empty again, and
They bring in the house.
right, and you just got to get the ball out quick, and that's what happens here. So I mean, I don't know if this is a check blitz, but they're gonna bring 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
One more than you got.
Yep, there's only 5 to block. Somebody's hot. Now the deal is, I think later on. Yeah, so later on they actually keep the back in here, but he escapes and leaves. And I think there was a breakdown in pass pro because 65 actually works out to this guy, and they just let the defensive end run free. I don't know if I put that on here or not. But yeah, you get the ball out quick, block well, and gain of 8. Unfortunately, it was 3rd and 9, but gain of 8.
Yep.
So here's a gain of 17. This is another pass. I think I might have picked all passes. You can tell. You can definitely tell what position I coach.
Well, but statistically, again, let me see if I can pull it here. They don't give up running yards, so they're very stout against their run plays as well. Sorry, again, I left my dog home.
This right here.
They give up less than 100 yards rushing per game. Again,
Yeah. So I mean, it may be in the passing game, and I think this right here. This is the route that Deboer and Milroe like to throw. Put it on him right now. Number 3 is not where he's supposed to be. Either he's not where he's supposed to be, or he's not where he's supposed to be. Somebody's incorrect. He ends up fading off, but I mean, you still have the check down here too. And then, hey, you don't tackle anybody, and he goes for 17.
they're definitely vulnerable. I know there's some people freaking out. Well, are we going to get our butts trounced and that kind of stuff? I don't feel that way because of how they played the past 3 games. Statistically, I mean, look at his time that he got.
Yeah, and again, I'm just saying, like their zone defense is so much worse than their man defense. Like this dude at the top is not even running all that fast, and he just kind of sits down and there's the ball. And it's like these. So the reason I picked these is because what I'm seeing is like these are things that we already do well. Sit behind a linebacker, find a hole, and then just get him the ball in the middle of the field.
Well, I see another good day. I don't know. So which way do you think we're going to go? Just a little bit that we've seen. You think we try to exploit them in the pass?
I think we're gonna try to get him in the pass. I mean, I just, as much as we like our running backs, I just don't think that we are run blocking very well in general, unless we're getting outside. And I think Coach DeBoer kind of just said it when somebody asked him a question like, "Hey, can we, would you like to see your running backs carry the ball a little bit more?" And I think that was more of a question from the reporter saying, "Do you wish your offensive coordinator was calling more run plays?" And his response was, "Yes, I would. I would hope that we could run the ball more." And the way I took that, of course, there were a lot of other people that were just like, "Well, you're the coach. You can just run the ball more." The way I took that was, hey, I'm not saying it out loud, but our offensive line is not actually doing a good enough job for us to be handing the ball to our running backs. And until that improves, until they start moving people out the ball and things like that, we're not gonna get, Jam is not gonna get 26 carries because we're not doing what we need to do up front.
That's not how we're built. That's not. I don't think that's how we're built with the team that he wants to run right now. And we talked about his run game before he even got here. It's different, So that's not a bad thing. I think he's been effective. Has he struggled in some cases? Yes, but we get behind in time of possession and
Mm-hmm.
everything else, and that could happen again if you don't get off the field. If you keep letting people get third downs, if we can't stop the run, we're going to be in a problem again, and we're going to have to be taking shots just to try to stay in the game. Uh,
So I wanted to just pull up. There we go. That's what I wanted to show. How loud is it? So, how loud can it get in Neyland? Um, Here's the first play of the game, end zone view. It's not the camera's not shaking all that much, but it's the first possession, right? So, as the game goes on, this is the stability of the camera, right? All good. You get late in the game, you're trying to score, you're trying to get into, you're getting into overtime, things like that. Uh, Starts to look like this.
yeah, they're
Can't
shaking
even
the
see what's
whole
going
thing.
on because it's the camera shaking. So is it gonna get loud? Absolutely. It is. It is going to get loud, especially at high moments of the game. I mean, you can quite literally see when.
This is in the fourth quarter. If you're looking at it, you can tell
Yeah,
close to the end of the
second and
game.
13. As a matter of fact, we can actually I can turn on and we can see. There you go. 6 minutes left. Second and 13. They're down a touchdown.
Yeah, which by the way, they kind of threw me for a loop with that end zone camera thing right
Yeah, me
there.
too. When I saw that, I was like, "What?
I
What
was like,
is?"
who put these graphics in here? What is this? Oh, anyway, there you have it, man. So, what's my prediction? People are trying to say, Coach 30.
I cannot tell you on there because they're not a sponsor, but leave a comment on our channel, and I'll get it to you.
But if you'd like to be a sponsor and figure out a way that you could buy this software for us, we surely appreciate the support and the help because we don't ask for much typically. So we are thankful for our sponsors, though. Black Fire Pub, Titan, Texas, and On Three. They do a great job allowing us to be able to get this film, get this not the software, but the data, and actually be able to host teagstake.com um, on the internet. So um, we're always looking for others to be a part of our team. If it's something that you or your company would like to do, hey man, give us a shout and we can talk about it because we do the deals. You're not dealing with a marketing company or somebody else. We cut it however we want to cut it and see if something good can come out of it. So, um, this game, JT, I know we don't normally make predictions. That's not what we kind of do or whatever, but people can always kind of ask it, how do we feel about it? Do we think we can stop them? Do we think we can, um, what is he saying here?
He was talking about looking at the average yards per rush. So when talking about offensive line run blocking. What I want to ask, you may not have the answer on hand, is that average yards per rush adding Milroe's carries? Because if you're adding Milroe's carries, I would say you need to take those out and then find out what the average yards per rush is inside the tackles. Like when they're over the last 2 games. Because I would also take out Western Kentucky and like those and say what.
Okay, is it? Yeah. We probably can find that. Maybe I didn't really study any of that, for the grades or the statistical data on any of the running backs, but maybe that's something I'll look up to do later. Um, but what I want to say about this game, so people are asking me, and this will be the last piece. I just think that you know, people ask me about how do I feel about the game. Obviously, I thought we'd do a whole lot better against Vandy than we did. Ended up losing the game. Shook everybody. I thought we would actually do better against South Carolina. I still think we're a better team. I don't, we had some faults and some things there, and we didn't play as good as I would like for us to play. You win, um, but maybe not as crisp as we think we have. So when I go into this game and go, man, what kind of confidence do I have us winning this game? I don't know. I'm nervous. I'm nervous just because of the way we played the past 2 games. Um, but if you ask me, do I think we're a better team than Tennessee? I'm saying yes. I don't know how JT feels. I'm saying yes. Do I think we can coach better than them? I think so. The question that I put down on my sheet that I didn't get to ask JT was, um, do we feel like we're holding back things on defense because of what you said? We kind of get in this mode, and all of a sudden we're sending pressure, boom, 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 and it seems to work when we're doing it. But the whole rest of the game, we're not. It's almost like desperation. So, are we trying to hold something back for games like this? Is what we did in Georgia. Like you said, we didn't even blitz any before the Georgia game. Then all of a sudden, Georgia game comes and we're sending the house. You know, we get in trouble in the South Carolina game. We start sending the house. Um, does it need to be more part of things or whatever? Why are we holding back? I don't know. I'd rather go for the juggler early and give ourselves a comfortable lead, let them try to catch up. I just feel like we're playing the other way that we don't want to show all our cards. So I don't think that bodes well when you get into tough matches like this, where it's going to be loud. There's going to be some adversity. There's going to be a tip ball. There's going to be something. Um, I think we need to go for the juggler a lot earlier and don't
Mhm.
hold back. I'm going to pick us to win. Um, and I think it's going to be another scare. And I think it's going to be another one where I have to drink some bourbon at 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday because it's going to be a dogfight, particularly if we can't stop them from running the ball. That's what I think. But I think we win. All right. Your last words before we go?
Last words. I'm just trying to do some quick math. I'm still just on looking at these rushing stats. Um,
You got you going down a rabbit hole
yeah.
now.
So I
Huh? Look
looked
at
at the last
this.
game. The running backs had 20 rushes. They had 20 touches between the two of them, 8 and 12. Um, they were at 3.3 yards or 3.4 yards per carry.
That's still
Um,
good.
Georgia, they had 11 touches. Justice Haynes had 5.8 yards per carry, 6 for 35. Jam Miller was at 1.6. Now, I'm not saying that it's, again, the running back's fault on that. Some of it, sure. But I think
Jalen
it's
Milroe
always,
excuse it.
yeah, Jalen Milroe definitely skews it, but I think it's always hard at the beginning of the season because you play so many, like you got the USF and the Western Kentuckys, and then we're finding out that Wisconsin's actually just not that good either. Um, so you have a little bit of those outliers that I think are kind of buoying the average. I do still think that some games, yeah, we do need to run the ball more, but it remains to be seen, I suppose. Justin says, "What brand of bourbon?"
Mm.
I like
I
Whistle Pig. I like the Four Roses.
well, Whistle Pig is my go-to. It is my first choice. If anybody wants to sponsor just George Teague, Whistle Pig would be the way to go. I'll take 10-year, 12-year, and if you want to be like a big shot and you want to give me some Boss Hog, go for it, big fella. Look it up if you hadn't seen it. If you're wondering what Boss Hog
Oh, the
is.
Boss Hog is good. It's expensive though, because I want some. It's expensive.
Yeah,
Um,
it's very expensive, but
appreciate you guys being here for an hour and a half.
yeah, we appreciate it. So, all right, man. I'm gonna say it like Dion. This ain't his theme music, but it's my theme music. We about to get up out of here because it's time. Jada's in town. I thought she was gonna walk in here and at least say hello to her brother or something, but it's me and Jada here at the house tonight, so we'll probably have us a drink or something before I call it a night tonight. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Tell everybody about Teague's Take. Come see us again next Wednesday at 8:15 p.m. We appreciate y'all, man. Deuces.
Oh, hold on. Wait. Where's my record scratch?
Oh shit! Oh, he made me cuss. Screenshot that, everybody. Come on in here, Jada. Come on in here. Because someone just told me that if Bama wins, can you hear? Here, put this.
No, I heard her. She's good.
I feel like a pilot.
Oh, jeez. Get her off the mic.
Hey,
We're supposed to be ending the show, and I just put it up here so that it's out. It's here for posterity.
Well, the views are about to go. They're about to skyrocket.
Yes, roll tide, everybody. Oh, Trainwreck says he wants some too. All right, with that, I'm putting the music back on.
What's that?
Oh.
You know they can still hear you.